Welcome back to to IELTS with Shaiban, and now we have the technique of the true, false, not given. As I said previously, the fact concerning true, false, not given, we have here three questions or three types of questions. True means we are dealing with, I'm dealing with facts in the text. So if this text, or if we have some issues in here, so the writer actually, we are going to deal with facts, and nothing is about the opinion of the writer. True means a full match. When I give an information, or there is an information in the question, and we go and find the place or the answer, we should have a full match. For false, no. For false, it should be an opposite. So if I talk about black, then the answer is about the color white. So white is the opposite. If I talk about something expensive, then it should be cheap. So cheap is the opposite of expensive. Where is the issue here? The issue or the difficulty is in the not given thing. Not given, we have two types of not given. Number one, not given, when there is no information. When we talk about something, for example, we say the students work, or the students study for 5 days per week. If I say the students study together for during these 5 days, the word together here is an extra information. So actually, no information about this, so this is called extra, so this is not given. Or sometimes, no, we use adjectives or adverbs to give an extra information. So if I say the students work hard in these 5 days, so this word hard is an adverb. So how do you know they work hard? So this is extra information or no information, so this is not given. Sometimes they say students in their work in these 5 days work more than they do at home. So how do you know the students, they do more work than they do at home? So this more thing, less, higher, lower, using adjectives or adverbs or no information, all of these are considered not given. In the class today, I'm going to explain in detail, and it is the same paragraph, the same one we took about the air traffic controller in the USA. So it's the same paragraph. So this way, you can see here, we can deal with the same. Of course, we finished this heading thing with this paragraph and with this passage, and we are going to do the true, false, not given concerning the same passage too. Now, let's go to question number 20. Again, the rule in IELTS, if I have a key, if there is a keyword, for example here, the FAA was created as a result of the introduction of the jet engine. So the keyword FAA, and then the keyword created, then jet engine. The questions come in order. All the questions in IELTS come in order. No jumbling or jumping. An accident, if you go to paragraph A, that occurred in the skies over the Grand Canyon in 1956 resulted in the establishment of the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA. Now, in IELTS, if I have the key here, I have FAA here, and in this key, I read the sentence of that key. So, an accident that occurred in the skies over the Grand Canyon in 1956 resulted in the establishment of the FAA. So here he said the FAA was created as a result of the introduction of the jet engine. So he said an accident that happened created the FAA. In the question he said introduction of the jet engine. So this is opposite the fact here. What is the fact? I'm talking about true, false, not given facts. He said accident made the FAA. He said jet engine made the FAA. So this one, number one, question 20 is false. Okay. Of course, in the exam, you have to write false, FALSE. You have to write the word fully. You don't have, but I don't have here for difficulties in writing, so I'm not just using the initial of the letter fault, or the word fault. So please, in the exam, do write the full letter. Don't put a cross, don't put a tick, just write the whole word. Now we go to question number 21. Remember, 20 is in paragraph A, so 21 comes after the place of question 20. Air traffic control started after the Grand Canyon crash in 1956. So air traffic control, ATC, the ATC, air traffic control, started after the Grand Canyon crash in 1956. Again, we have to check these facts with the passage. ATC, you go to paragraph B, and then you find the air traffic control. So that's the key. Now again, what is the technique? If I find my key, the answer is either in the same sentence, that means from the beginning, from the sentence from here to here, or maximally the next one, the next sentence, the maximally. And this technique, you have to do it like this. If I find a key, I find my answer, you find the key, read the sentence of the key. If you don't find your answer, please move to the next sentence and stop. Don't go further. Why? Because if you go further, you might go to other ideas, other examples, and this will confuse you. So first, find the key on the graph. So you go to the graph, he said ATC here, air traffic control, ATC. I find it. Then after I find my answer, my key, I find the answer. Rudimentary air traffic control existed well before the Grand Canyon disaster. And then if you see here, air traffic control started after. So I have the word after here. It is after, and here before. So after is the opposite of before. So again, question 21 is false. Question 22. Beacons and flashing lights are still used by ATC today. What does the word beacon means? I don't care. I don't mind. I don't even think about the meaning. I just find the key and try to find the answer. So beacons. So we have here the word beacons in paragraph B. If you look here, I'll just try to clear the writing again, or the paragraph again. So let's do it again. Sorry for this slip. So it's F, 20 is F, and yes, F, and 21 is F2. Again, it is F. And 22 is beacons. So I have the word beacons in here in front of me. So flashlights, and this is a flashing lights. So these are the keys. So where is the sentence? I start over again from the beginning. He said, as early as the 1920s, the earliest air traffic controllers manually guided aircraft in the vicinity of the airports using lights and flags, while beacons and flashing lights were placed along cross-country routes to establish the earliest airways. Full stop. So he stopped in here. This is the end of the sentence. He said, beacons and flashlights are still used by ATC today. So if you look at the key here, he said, are still used by the ATC today. Here in the paragraph, he said in the 1920s. So he talked about 1920s. But no information about present time, even if you read the next sentence. However, this purely visual system was useless in bad weather, and by the 1930s, radio communication was coming into use after ATC. So no information here, even if you read the next sentence, no information about the usage of beacons and flashlights till nowadays. So no information. So 22 is not given. Not given, that means no information. So 22, sorry, not given. NG. I'm writing NG. Remember that in the exam, do not write NG. Please, you have to write the word fully, not given. Now, question 23. Some improvements were made in radio communication during World War II. Some improvements, so we have the key, some improvements were made in radio communication during World War II. So here we have the key of, yes. So again, I finished with my questions in here in paragraph B. So the next question should be in the following paragraph, in paragraph C. In the 1940s, ATC centers could and did take advantage of the newly developed radar and improved radio communication brought up by the Second World War. So here I have some improvements were made in the radio communication during the World War II. Yes, he said brought about by the Second World War. So we have communication, some developments. So again, so number 23 is true. So because this is a full match. This is, again, I'm writing true. Please don't write true. You have to write the word fully. Question 24, Class F airspace. Before we go to Class F, I have to move to the next page. If you just give me a minute. So we can move then to the next page. Then we have the Class F. Class F airspace is airspace which is below 365 meters and not near airports. So Class F here. We go to paragraph E. Paragraph E talks about, if you look here, he said Class F airspace is airspace which is below 365 meters. So if you go here, airspace F, if you go to paragraph E, it says the last sentence in here, I want the number 365 meters. So this is my keyword. In this way, the recreational pilot who simply wishes to go flying for a while without the restrictions imposed by FAA has only to stay in uncontrolled airspace below 365 meters. And he said here, class F, which is below 365 meters. In this paragraph, we have something significant in here, because in uncontrolled below here is mentioned in the next paragraph actually. So they talk about the uncontrolled airspace, which is below and not near the airspace. So this is a class F, they will call it here. If we go to the next paragraph, and this is the only example in IELTS which shows some difficulty or for students anyway. So if I go here, I'll show you in a minute. So if I go to paragraph F, it says category here. Paragraph, yes, G, it talks about G, the category F, class F in here. It talks about F here is the letters uncontrolled airspace, so this is uncontrolled, designated the class F. So here, class F is airspace which is below 365 meters and not near airports, so this is true. All aircrafts in class E must use IFR. What does IFR mean? Who cares? I don't care, but I have to find class E. All aircrafts in class E airspace, all class E. Now, look at the class E here, the key. I read the sentence from the difference. The difference between class E and A is that in class A, all operations are IFR. The difference between class E and A airspace is that in class A, so the talking here is about class A, are IFR. So all operations are IFR. So class E is not IFR. What does IFR mean? Who cares? So this is opposite, because IFR is about class A, not E. So he said all aircraft in class E. Here he said airspace is in class, all operations are IFR. So this all thing in here is about class A, not class E. So 25 is false. It is an F. Now, the final question. A pilot entering class C airspace is flying over an average size city. So I want class C here. Class C. So I have the letter here, C here. Letter C. He said here. He said 3 other types of airspace, classes D, C, and B, govern the vicinity of airports. So this is the key. As I said, when you find the key, the answer is either in the same sentence or maximally the next one. These correspond roughly to small municipal, medium-sized. So to small municipal, medium-sized metropolitan. So a pilot entering class C airspace is flying over an average sized city, average sized. So he said medium sized. Average is the same meaning, medium sized. So this is true. So number 26 is true. As you have seen with me today, we have started talking about, we say, the true, false, not given. And of course, in this series, I'm just explaining what's the difference or between true, which is should be a full match, 100% correct information I mean, mentioned in the passage. False, that means something opposite the information or giving a wrong information. Finally, not given, that means either no information, no data concerning the fact, no data, or something extra mentioned about the fact or given by the question which is not mentioned in the passage, and in this way it is not given.